Are those red bows only for the commercials? Or
Can you actually drink them? Okei. Tässä on teille eka savu. Vittu, väärä kieli. Okay. This is the first smoke. So, the basic smoke for outside, which you see the pros the pros throwing, is the smoke to here, okay? And with this smoke you want to cross to red, right? And most of the time there are these two smokes also being thrown. But the point of this smoke is, I see so many people do this smoke wrong. Maybe other pros have a different perspective, but this is just mine. Okay? So I see many people throwing the smoke like so, not really knowing what they are doing. And if you just swing it like this, not only might it leave a gap here, so an enemy offer might be here, and they can see that no one crossed into red or possibly kill you. The other thing is that someone can sneak close and you don't see him from here, okay? So maybe you can, you can spot from this this small gap, but what you want to do is you want to run with the shadow, and I'm pretty sure you want to aim at the what do you call it? The thing that's popping behind the fence, okay? And you don't want to throw it too early, alright? So aim here and throw it kinda in the middle, okay? So like so. Now, what this does is it will cover the gap here, so no opper can see you, right? But the other thing is that you can always come from this side and clear the close angles. Because so many times in pro games, people want to get close and try to kill you when you when you throw this smoke. So that's why you want to throw the first smoke perfectly. So do it like so, and you will get a perfect smoke here, and you can play around it. You can go up, you can go to the side, and you always know that there's no one pushing close, right? So do it like so. Alright, the second thing is, this is something a lot of pro teams use, but you should also in pugs. If you just learn it, 2 players only need to throw these smokes. One of you line up here, go up, like you reach this gap, right? You go up almost at the, I think it's these pipes here. You go like so. I'm not 100% sure how far I need to run, but we will see. I think I'll just go with the feeling, so. My feeling is the best feeling, guys. Yeah? So, if you go with this smoke, right? You go with that smoke by someone. Everyone is running to outside. Maybe one flash just high up. And you all go here. And you kill them. It's pretty easy round to win. I'm sorry, pretty easy tactic to win easy rounds. Pitää juoda vettä, ettei voisi kräkkää 10 kertaa videoaikaan. Alright. If you wanna drop down vents, easy way for you to do it is you get a nade, you get a smoke, alright? You reach lobby. This is when you want to break the door for you, okay? So I do it like this. Okay. Then I take my smoke out. And with this there are many different lineups you can do, but I think the most consistent for me is I kinda line myself here, and I'm still running, right? I threw the nade, then I take the smoke out. I go here, and I start to run forwards, and I aim up from the A. It's been a while. I don't remember if I'm kinda going like up from this line or up from the A, but let's try. And then you throw it. And you want a smoke that doesn't leave a gap here, so they cannot see you if you sneak into vents, right? And you don't want a gap either here, right? But this is how you do it, and let me show you by running. Okay. But obviously, you don't want to throw this smoke if you're rushing into vents. This is a smoke you can throw to make the enemy guessing, you know? You can maybe sneak to vents or do stuff like that. But if I want to run down vents, and this is when I break the door, I dodge the nade so I don't take nade damage, you go behind the wall. Then you just underhand throw, and you kind of run with it. Or you want a smoke that just like insta pops, you know? Okay, but I think the most important thing is that you have a teammate who is helping you. Because the only counter to this is that you have an enemy who jumps on top of hot and he checks you here. And he just kills you, because this angle is hard to clear as T. That's why you want your teammate to go here, to break these windows, to just run. And when you reach the roof, like so, you go, at least this is how I do it. You aim left from this window gap, right? To a bit to the left, okay? Then I run at the blue wall, in the middle of the blue wall, and down from here. So, do it like so. Okay, so it hits this part, and lands on top of hot, and it doesn't burn you here, because the smoke is here. And if the smoke hits the molly, it will not extinguish, okay? If you want to rush A, this is how you should do it. At least if you want to rush through hot. And I guarantee you, it's the best strat in Pugs, okay? What you want to do is, you want to have the first guy always rushing hot, because it's out super fast, okay? So first guy is rushing hot. You want to have the last guy who can throw this flash. So you break the right side of the left part of the windows. You break the right window there. You run here. And how I line it up is, I line myself up with this wall, so you cannot see this part, okay? So you go here. And you have to do this quickly, because your teammate is rushing hot. So you're going here. You aim around here. I think you aim a bit below, actually, and not up on the dots, and you run and throw. Yeah, so this is supposed to be a flash, okay? But you have to go through this a couple times to get comfortable with it, and you aim below of the dot, and you rush and throw. Run and throw, okay? The only counter to this is that somebody jumps on top of hot and kills you from here. Do this rush with, you could be rushing everyone from hot and only one guy throwing the flash, but I think it should be kinda default-ish that someone of you is doing a main smoke. So breaking the door and smoking main, because if you're all flying out hot and you have smoked main, it will be super easy, okay? Just a tiny detail, but you can do it if you know that your enemy is throwing a specific molly. Because in pro games, sometimes your enemy is just throwing a molly from here, right, to hot. Okay? And some people do it better, some people do it just swinging the molly. But if you know that your opponent, or yeah, let's say you played a couple rounds in Nuke and you see your opponent throwing this molly, if you want to rush inner, you can throw your smoke at the right side of this ladders. So you rush inner, you throw the smoke like so, and you rush from here with the flash I just showed you. So if the enemy is throwing this molly, it will get extinguished, and you don't get smoked at all, and they get blind, right? So this is kind of a 200 IQ smoke, and I think I saw Chris J doing it from Mouseports. So the most basic thing you will face is a guy running to ramp and throwing this smoke. Okay? What you can do is obviously you watch out he's not spamming the smoke and everything. You come here, you aim at these, there's D1 letters, but you aim at the one at the edge of this part. Okay? Then you go onto the chair here, you duck down and throw, and it will be a perfect flash for the ramp guy. And it's obviously intended to be thrown like when the smoke is still up. So you do this, you sneak here, and just when the smoke is fading, you have teammates in the smoke, and then you're throwing this flash at the same time. Okay? So if the guy is playing here, or yeah, he could, pretty sure he could be playing here as well. Let's see if you get blind. Yeah. So it's a pretty sick flash to throw while you're going out, but I think the only downside is if the ramp guy is playing random and he's playing behind the smoke, or he's playing, I don't know, here, he doesn't get blind, right? But it's something you can do to have just one guy throwing this flash, but the others have to know where it pops, and then you can run out. The second flash, what I think many pro teams at the moment are using, is they go here, they duck down, and they aim at this gray pipe and throw their flash. Because so many teams have their AWP playing around this area. And once they know that you're coming ramp, the AWP comes here. And when you use this flash, it will get the AWP blind, and you can all fly out. Wait, did Mantu just donate? Don't throw this flash. I threw this flash and broke my head. I'm not sure if this is real Mantu. The guy's enjoying vacation. Mantu, are you trolling me? Alright, but you get the point. You can use these two flashes. Most likely will get you some good situations. No, actually, that's the wrong smoke. This smoke is for warehouse. So you go here, and you go, I think it was left from here, is to smoke warehouse. And if you shift walk, you can throw it further. Jonni 16 kuukautta, thanks man. But if you want to smoke main, you want to line up this wall with these things here. Okay? Then you go up from the right side to the cables and run and throw. So this is how you can do it from safe distance. But if you have already reached here, you can just stand about at this corner and just run throw it to the same spot. Okay? And guys, here is again, the most basic thing I see people do wrong. I went through the first smoke already, but this is another thing. Even pros do it, and I don't know why. Is that you molly here? I hope no pros are watching this video. Otherwise we will get fucked on the next official. Is they molly here? But what happens with this molly? Okay? So let me just act like I'm CT. Okay? The molly spreads here, so you can hide here. You can hide here, most likely, without being seen. Especially when the CTs are on pistols. They have a guy with P250 just sitting here like, hey, I'm just sitting here. Then you go outside and suddenly he kills you to the side, okay? What you want to do is you want to aim way more up. And you want the molly to bounce here. Okay? So it will expose him, okay? So let's say I'm here. I'm smoking main. I'm mollying here. And now the guy cannot be anywhere. He's here and you can see him. He's here. You can see him from main. And if he's here, you can see him from main. And the same thing, you can do it from here. So you drop down to silo. You know a guy is blue. You just molly around this area to make the molly bounce. Okay? And then he has to expose himself and you can kill him. Okay? So if you see your teammate mollying here, slap him in the face. Alright? Like let's say that you go ramp and you kill the ramp guy, right? And you want to go lower. What you want to do is, if you break this window here, and you throw the molly from this type of angle, it will be a perfect molly for the lab door. Okay? So, let's say I have the bomb, right? And I don't trust my teammates at all to cover me. I go here, I throw this molly, and now I know the lab doors are burning and I can plant here. But you don't want to throw the molly when you are throwing it from here, because that's when you do this. like Isa did on the last official. I went to plant here and someone shoots me here. I'm dying like a dog. What I like to do is I play inner and I play usually on top of hot, okay? I go up the ladders and what I do is like here, you can either go up like so, but you will lose time and you will lose your lineups. So what I do is you just go up and I strafe to the right, okay? And obviously I couldn't pull it off this time. I do it like so. And now I get my molly out and I run and throw my molly. But what I do is I want the molly to just barely go over this. I aim on top of this, so if the enemy breaks the door at the start of the round, the molly will go inside the door, okay? So let me just show you. I go to here, I run, and I throw here. And if the enemy broke the door, the molly will spread like this. You don't want to line it up too hard. Obviously you can make the molly bounce inside here, but you just kind of want to have the lineup because you need to be fast inner. If they're rushing inner, you need to be fast, so you don't want to line yourself up here for 1 hour, okay? So just do it like so, throw the molly, jump on top, and expect a rush, okay? Like the most basic thing is if you're playing inner as the side player, you just throw a molly here, you go down, and you expect him to rush. You can obviously throw the molly inside hot as well. It's a tiny bit harder, and you can do the same thing, okay? Next two things I'm gonna show you are 200 IQ, okay? One thing you can do is what some pro teams do, is they have one guy, either the AWPer or a player who has a good spawn, to rush hot instantly to try to get an entry, okay? And for example, I did this with Isa a couple times. I line myself up here, and I actually have to recheck this molly. Let me throw a nade first. Yeah. So the molly has to land inside the door, okay? So imagine Isa running, the molly is here, it doesn't burn you. What the enemy sees is like, let me show you. Let's say I'm playing lobby, okay? And I'm holding hot. I see this molly, okay? I'm like, okay, they molly, they are not coming. And suddenly someone is flying out. Okay? So this is definitely something you can do in your PUG games. And I think you can even do it yourself. Let's say I'm coming with an M4. And you just throw it by running. But obviously if you fail, there's no way out. Because you will... you will die to your own molly, okay? But if you can throw it, then yeah, obviously you can do this. But it usually requires a teammate, alright? One more thing the pro teams are using is a smoke here when they are retaking, okay? You throw a smoke here and you can use it as one way when you start to retake. Pretty simple, but imagine I'm sight and this smoke comes. Obviously I can see something, but if I'm here as T and there is this kind of smoke, it's obviously like harder for me, so you should do it. So smoke here, and the basic flash you wanna throw is, you wanna bounce the flash off from here, so it goes under you, and then you wanna peek above, right? If you're an outside player or you're the AWPer, and the enemy are doing these smokes, because I don't think like going here is the best thing to do on pugs. Because most of the time the enemy doesn't think about shit and they just run outside and kill you, right? So... But let's imagine that I'm the outside rifle guy, okay? One move you can do is the most basic thing. I think Glaive did 1,000 times and then people started to copy him. Could have been someone else, obviously, but I think he did it to make it meta. Which you bounce a smoke here. And you just go behind the smoke, and if a guy pops onto silo, you can easily kill him because he doesn't see anything. Like, he just sees the smoke edge and you can kill him easily. And the other thing you get with this smoke is you hear how many people are outside. You hear if they're rushing outside. You can do plenty of different plays off of this smoke, and it's hard for them to kill you. Okay? So, really basic smoke to do. You can kill a guy's silo. You can see if you get a one-way on this side, or you can jump to the box to make it as one-way and to kill people here. Or if you hear that they are rushing lower, you can just jump on top of red and kill people to the back. Okay? The second thing is for the AWPers, obviously you can do it with rifle, but I think if you get an AWP here, it's super effective. So imagine imagine the enemy throwing these smokes, okay? You wanna smoke here, you wanna flash above, and you wanna run into secret. And you might ask, why are you flashing above? It's because against many good teams, they have a guy who is running here, who is jumping here, and he's checking that no one goes there, right? But if you throw this flash, he might get blind when he's jumping here, and then he has to guess, like, did you go to there or no? Right? Yo, what the fuck? Why are you showing my place? Sorry, Nathan. It's gonna be harder for us to come back from the player break. But the most basic thing you can do is if you are expecting them to rush, alright? You just throw your smoke here, throw a nade here, wait for the smoke to pop and fly out and just spam the smoke. If they're rushing ramp, it's GG for them. Okay? If you don't expect them to rush, you can always throw the smoke. You should nearly always you should clear from here, because if they are rushing, they have to jump through the smoke, and you don't want to be here AFK, because if they jump through the smoke and you are not killing them, they already gain ground on you, right? So always try to use your smoke wisely. But if you have everything else, you can just always throw a nade behind the smoke. Just when it's about to fade, because that's the moment when they want to usually explode. Or you can just throw your molly there, and just when the smoke is about to fade, and make them like lose more time. One thing you can also do is, if you clear this area, okay, you can use your smoke. You can have a tiny gap here, right? Just a tiny gap that you can see if they're coming. And when you see them coming, you just smoke off this entrance, right? It's impossible for them to reach ramp, so. And let's say you have a molly, and you are here, and you see them rushing. What you can always do is you can drop down and you can molly here. And you can check if they are, like, jumping down on you, and you can kill them on top of the molly. Or you can use the molly just to fall back if you have the numbers. I think that's it for the most basic things on Nuke. Super general.